Hello, everybody. So, welcome to episode, I think 6 or 7, I'm not sure, of my Disney name tag or name badge. It's a series now. I have again secured several new name badges, and I have to admit, I really don't know. Are they called name tags or name badges? Does it even matter? Am I overthinking it? Probably. But I've acquired several more, and I thought it was time to share them with you. So in a second, we'll go into the office, and I'll show you the latest to the collections. But hopefully you enjoy these. There's a very good website called the Nametag Museum. And name tag is all one word. This cat, Benson Meyer, has put together or amassed an incredible collection that makes mine look puny by comparison. But I'm nipping at his heels. I don't have a web page. But he's a tremendous source of information that's been helpful to me. And if you enjoy some of these, I highly recommend taking a look at his web page. There's a lot of fun badges, and it's something that started as a goof for me has turned into, I wouldn't call it a passion, but I've certainly spent a ridiculous sum of money on some of these name tags. But again, as you'll see in a minute, it's really starting to turn into something grand. I think when I spoke last, I was talking about having to buy another magnetic chalkboard. Well, I've done that, and since then, I've got to get another one. I'm actually going to have to buy a bigger house the way this is going. But anyway, I hope you get a kick out of these. But let's head into the office and take a look at the latest editions, and I'll circle back with you in just a second. All right, the first one is going to be a somewhat familiar one. It's Little Monsters on Main Street. This is the badge from 1993. You can see 1998 right next to it, but that's the latest addition to the collection. And then next up on this board is right here, this Buena Vista castle. It should look familiar to some of you of a certain age. But this is a Buena Vista home video worn by cast members working to help distribute video. And this is going to be the mid-'80s at the height of the Betamax and VCR years, so like 82 to 87. But this was worn by, again, cast members working at the Buena Vista home video. Next, kind of an interesting one, and I think somewhat rare. The Disney Channel 10-year library tour. If you look close, you kind of see a hidden Mickey. The two ears are sort of just behind the Disney, and Mickey's head is in the 10-year portion. But this would have been a badge that cast members wore the nationwide library tour, I think, supporting reading and books. I do not know the year of this badge. Next up, Fantasia 2000. Obviously, the year is 2000. This is the re-release of Disney's movie Fantasia. I believe they went through and cleaned up the print, new vibrant cover, colors, new sound systems, that kind of stuff. From there, we're going to move to another fun one, Disney Radio. I believe this is a Florida radio station, KYVA AM 640. Disney had a network of radio stations across the country from 1996 to 2001. I think it was somewhat popular, but obviously in the years to come with Sirius XM, or Sirius and XM radio before they merged, all that stuff went to pay radio, and the radio Disney network is no more. Next up, kind of another interesting one, Disney Auctions. Obviously a badge worn by cast members that work in conjunction with the auction houses, I believe. Disney obviously has a ton of memorabilia that they put up for auction, I'm guessing 2 or 3 times a year. And the folks involved with that would wear this badge. Right next to that, we've got, I'm calling Mickey Baseball. This was a badge worn by studio cast members that took part in the baseball and softball leagues. Again, I'm thinking mid-'80s based on the badge, 82 to 87, say, something like that. Last one on this particular board, Tokyo Disneyland 20th anniversary badge. Somewhat rare. You can kind of see Tinkerbell there. But this is celebration of Tokyo Disneyland's 20th anniversary. Kind of fun. Okay, on to the next board. Okay, next up in the collection, you can see there, Times Square Studio Limited. This is a badge worn by, we'll say, cast members that actually work for Times Square Studios Limited, which is a Disney-owned company. And they actually work in the GMA building, Good Morning America in New York. An interesting fact is that building was actually designed by Disney's Imagineering department. So the cats that work for Good Morning America, this is a badge that a lot of their employees used to wear. I don't know if they still wear them, and I do not know the year. Next up, down here is going to be this Disney Synergy. And this is a badge that cats wore that work for the, obviously, the corporate synergy, sort of special projects division of Walt Disney Corporate. And obviously their work was how to find synergies between the various departments. And again, I don't know the year of this badge. But right next to it, Mickey Mouse there with the camera. This is theme park productions. And these folks worked producing motion pictures specifically for the theme parks. These would be things like Captain EO and Star Tours, Muppet Vision, things of that nature is what these guys worked on. And this badge is from, the mid-'80s, 85 to say 90, something like that. But let's head over to the next board, the next set of badges. Okay, so first up on this board, you can see the Jiminy the Cricket badge, the safety representative. This was a badge that a cast member would have worn who acted as, obviously, a safety representative. This is going to be in the 80s when, obviously, more and more focus would be on safety. Next up is going to be this guest badge. This would be a badge worn by a VIP guest for special events at the park. This would be, mid to late 90s, I think, somewhere in that time frame. Our next badge is going to be, we're going to drop down here, this golden foil badge. This is known as the Golden Ears Club, and these are retired cast members from Disneyland. This is going to be from the 80s. My guess is they were issued the badge, and when they would come and visit and walk around the park, everybody would know that they were a retired cast member. Just below that, this is kind of a fun badge. If you look close, you can see a hidden Mickey there in the fireworks. Chapter at the park, the NFFC, which stands for the National Fantasy Fan Club, the NFFC. And in 1984, they actually broke away from, I believe it's called the Mouse Club or the Mickey Mouse Club. They are not sponsored or supported by D23, which would be the acknowledged fan club for all things Disney. This badge, I don't know the exact year of this badge, but it's pre-2009 because they changed their name from the National Fantasy Fan Club to Disney Anna in about 2009. So a somewhat rare badge. Kind of interesting that they broke away from the National Club to form their own sort of deal. Next up, this is a Club 33. Most of you should be familiar with Club 33. I do not know the year of this badge. I think it's somewhat recent, but extremely rare. This would be worn by cast members working in Club 33. Right next to it, this is a really fun and I think extremely rare badge. Maybe the second rarest, or maybe even the first rarest, just not the most valuable. Obviously the most valuable, and I think the rarest, is the original Disneyland badge. But going back to, this is Disney's America, and this was a badge for a park that never existed. I've talked about it in a previous video. Back in 1993, they announced that they were going to build a new theme park in a city called Haymarket, Virginia. And there was a huge pushback. It was going to open in 1998, but they ended up canceling the whole project just because the local residents were very upset that somehow the hallowed ground of Haymarket, Virginia would be soiled. if Disney opened a park. And the park was going to, again, sort of celebrate the history of America, smaller park. But this is one of the few name badges that were created for the park, obviously never used. So I think that's really extremely, extremely rare. And then we come down here to ABC 7. This is a local for the Los Angeles area. This is a name badge worn by employees at ABC, obviously a Disney-owned company. And our last new addition is this Disneyland Sign Language Club that kind of, speaks for itself. And this was a club that was formed in 1988. I do not know if it still exists, but it is an enormous badge, as you can see. Anyway, that is the latest additions. If I sort of pull back here, give you kind of an idea of the collection continues to grow. And let me show you the next couple of chalkboards. No new additions to this chalkboard, though at the recording of this, I'm close to securing a few more name badges, so rest assured there will be another video. And if I am successful in obtaining those badges, we're going to have to get another chalkboard. But I'm really enjoying this, and I have to say, here's the final chalkboard. My collection is getting to be pretty extensive, and I think kind of fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it, of course. And as always in this world, when you could be anything you want, you be kind, you be humble, you be forgiving, and have a great day. And we'll see you next time. Wish me luck on capturing those other name badges. See you later. So that's pretty cool, right? I know I already gave my outro or my closing, but I forgot before we went into the office to show you the name badges that I said I would come back, and I didn't want to be a liar. So I'm back, but it looks like I may be securing another 5 to maybe 10 badges here in the next couple of days. So I'm probably going to have to buy another magnetic chalkboard, but I really am getting a kick out of this collection. They're a lot of fun, and I'm amazed at how many badges the Disney company puts out. And I'm very grateful. I think that Disney America, incredibly rare. And obviously my original from 55 to 57, that metal badge, the very first Disneyland badge, that's the most valuable, but also incredibly, incredibly rare. Those do not pop up. I don't know how many of those Disney America blanks were made. I can't imagine too many, and then how many actually survived. The Name Tag Museum has one. It's actually engraved with the name Bob, I believe. And according to Mr. Meyer, it's the only one that's engraved. I have no reason not to believe him, but of all the Disney's America name badges, I've only seen 2, his and now mine. So, and I've seen several of the metal badges, but now I'm prattling on. Anyway, hope you got a kick out of this video. There'll be another one coming along soon, assuming I'm successful here in a couple of days at the auctions. And once again, as we enter into 2023, be kind, be humble, be forgiving, and let's hope that it ends up being a very profitable and prosperous year for us all. Take care.